It's an analysis of Anton Chigurh by Corey Grzelcyk. Anton Chigurh is the primary antagonist in the Coen brothers' adaptation of Cormac McCarthy's novel No Country for Old Men. His physical appearance is that of a male in his mid to late 30s with dark black hair and blue eyes. His primary role in the film is that of a hitman tasked with tracking down a satchel full of money taken from the scene of a drug deal that has gone horribly wrong. He can best be described as a methodical and calculated killer. He's very cold-hearted. He's not afraid to destroy anyone or anything that stands in his way. He shows no signs of fear, no signs of guilt. He's very cold and emotionless and lacks a sense of morality. This is a photo of Javier Bardem, the actor that portrays Anton in the film. For his Big Five personality profile, his openness to experience is low. He's very methodical. His actions seem as if they're almost rehearsed. We see this through Chigurh's repeated use of a coin to make very tough decisions. His conscientiousness is moderate to high. He is a determined killer that will stop at nothing to achieve his goal. His extroversion is very low. He constantly talks in a low-pitched, emotionless voice and shows little reaction to events that will leave most people in shock, such as an explosion from a makeshift car bomb that he detonates in a busy shopping district. He's also very easily irritated with people and in no way friendly. This is best seen in his interaction with a gas station clerk that attempts to initiate small talk. His agreeableness is very low. He's in no way even remotely empathetic. This is best exemplified in a scene where he murders a random stranger simply to take their car. His neuroticism is low to moderate. Despite being heartless and cold-blooded, Chigurh seems to be very even-tempered and calm. Some would even say level-headed. There are scenes, however, when you see his emotions get the best of him, such as the gas station scene. For his diagnosis, he definitely suffers from a personality disorder, specifically antisocial personality disorder. This is a disorder in which one demonstrates a reckless disregard for the safety of others and their surroundings. Usually those who suffer from ASPD lack a sense of morality and a sense of empathy. Usually those who suffer from ASPD have a long history of legal and criminal issues, as well as a history of violence and aggression. The DSM-5 and the DSM-4 categorize this as a cluster B personality disorder. Symptoms: persistent lying or deceit, using charm or wit to manipulate others. Technically, these were listed as two different symptoms, but I think they coincide enough with each other to go ahead and group them together. There are multiple instances in the film where Chigurh lies to achieve what he wants, the best example probably being when he pulls over a random civilian under the ruse that he's in fact a police officer and quickly dispatches him and goes ahead and steals his vehicle. His lack of empathy for others or a lack of remorse. He displays this through his numerous murders that leave him unchanged emotionally. This is also displayed in a scene where he causes a vehicle to explode in the middle of a busy shopping district simply to draw attention away from himself with a reckless disregard for others. His missing symptom is impulsiveness or a failure to plan ahead. Although he is very sadistic, he is not impulsive. In fact, he's very calm, level-headed. He talks in the same tone throughout the whole movie. He's never rushing. He's always walking. Treatment. Unfortunately, ASPD is a very difficult disorder to treat. This is because the disorder itself, subjects tend to not feel remorse for what they've done. However, you can target specific symptoms, specifically aggressive and violence tendencies. These can be targeted with prescription drugs such as antipsychotics or depressants. Schema therapy is also used, which is a therapy that combines various other treatments. Ultimately, I would prescribe a mixture of prescription drug treatments as well as regular meetings with a registered psychiatrist. Ultimately, what you're trying to do is suppress his violent tendencies. Long-term predictions, I would say ultimately he's probably a lost cause. He is a killer at heart, and he will always be a killer. Ethical concerns involved in treating someone like Chigurh would ultimately revolve around the extent to which one would go to treat this, as well as a responsibility of the physician and staff of releasing him back into the public and giving him a premature clearance. He would probably be prone to manipulating the staff to believe that he's not a killer, but that's just part of him. He's evil. Portrayal in the film. The film actually does an almost black and white exact portrayal of ASPD. It does a really good example of it. But in real life, you don't generally have that black and white of a deal. It's more of a gray area. Millions of Americans actually suffer from mental illness, yet lead productive lives in the terms of society. So you wouldn't really be able to pick them out just like that. Ultimately, I would say you have to remember that although this film portrays the symptoms of ASPD very well, it is just that it's a film and a work of fiction. And here are my sources. I would say that if you haven't seen this film, I definitely strongly recommend it. It's very dark. It can be kind of slow. It's pretty violent, but it is a great film. The novel is actually pretty good as well.